path we continue down, or do we embrace the middleware with a great deal of love and affection?
It's kind of a tough question because each studio is kind of unique in where they're positioned, but I would say now, embrace middleware. At the beginning of the console cycle, leading up to a console cycle, that's when you should be investing in technology and building it. That's when you have your most value to a publisher, like THQ or Activision. At this point, if you don't have technology, we're really not going to fund that technology build. So we're looking for people that have established proprietary technology, or use Unreal or Lightspeed or whatever middleware is out there that can make the game that we need to make.
Yeah, ultimately, I think it comes down to it's a design decision as well. But if you can make the game that you want, and the design can fit in an engine that's off, please do it. Arkham Asylum was Unreal, and you play through Arkham Asylum, and if you look at it from a developer's point of view, it's they've so tailored that game to the Unreal Engine. They've got long, twisty corridors for no apparent reason, and they've got these rooms that are sort of self-contained, little encounters. It's really apparent that they designed that game with Unreal in mind. And if you go on Gamasutra and you read their post-mortem, it's very, very telling. They do talk a lot about what they needed to do in order to make the game. They've been working with Unreal for, I think, a year, just creating prototypes before the Batman opportunity even came along. They didn't go, oh, we've got a Batman game, let's see what we can do with shooters. Yeah, they were doing shooters, and they were dealing with a lot of different genres. So I think middleware is incredibly good if it gets you to your solution, but it does need to be a design decision.
I think Bob summed it up. If you haven't got your own proprietary technology and you haven't licensed any middleware, well, publishers really not going to get all that excited about what your idea is, because you want to see it working. And we've got our own proprietary technology just for our simulator, but we have licensed the Unreal 3 engine for a small game that I'm just making here for the Wii, the kids. We got the Vicious engine, and it's excellent, and it's not expensive, and no need to reinvent the wheel.
So it's a big risk mitigator for a publisher?
Absolutely. Building technology is
the
scariest thing in the world. It really is.
So Bob, in your opinion, the Australian industry, where should we be focusing our efforts? What genres, formats, niches are we most likely to succeed in?
I don't know if the answer is on platforms or genres. I think it's really a focus on quality. Now, for me to greenlight something, all of our senior executives know what game rankings are in Metacritic. They go on there and they look and they'll look at what the review scores were for different games. And at the end of the day, if you guys are able to develop a quality game, 80 or above, it's going to open up a lot of opportunities at a lot of publishers. In fact, publishers will be coming to you as opposed to the other way around. There are very few external studios out there because they get snatched up by Activision, THQs, and EAs that have consistently put out 80 or above rated games. But it is the barrier of entry right now in a greenlight to show that they have in the past been able to do a high quality game, whether it's on the DS, the 360, or whatever platform it is. So really focus on quality, because once you're able to hit that bar, you'll see how so many doors open up.
You're on the ground, what do you see? Where do you see the potential growth?
Yeah, I mean, I certainly, I do have some reservations about the sort of the Metacritic approach. I know quality is important, but there are plenty of games out there that execution is more important than quality. And if you've got a good track record of executing under certain time and monetary constraints, that's attractive to a publisher as well. We do need to sort of see that as much as we need to see the quality. But like Bob says, if you create a an 80 plus rated game and you do it by yourself, then the publishers will come up.
I think in terms of, I was going to say, I think in terms of growth, you guys hit on earlier, the iPhone is going to be an opportunity, and Facebook games and apps like that, and those are things you don't necessarily need a publisher for. But I do think those are areas that any development community can focus on, or any developer, and really grow a little portion of their business in almost an entrepreneurial manner. I don't know if it's a magical solution, but certainly that's something that I think developers should focus on, and seeing if there's a business opportunity there for them.
One second. Well, what does that demonstrate to the publisher? I mean, if I make a successful reasonably successful Facebook game, or a reasonably successful iPhone game, what am I actually proving if I want to then take the next step?
Well, when the next Call of Duty or Guitar Hero or a big franchise that we're going to exploit on that platform, we're going to look for the people that are successful in that genre. So that could be an opportunity there. But in terms of every developer seems to want to own their own IP. Every developer wants to build their own brand. I think this is a very low barrier to entry to start doing that, as opposed to doing big 360 games or Wii games or something like that. I think it's low-hanging fruit in a certain perspective. It's certainly not easy, but I think there are opportunities there for growth, especially right now.
Yeah, I totally agree. I mean, the challenges with Facebook and iPhone, it's not so much a technological challenge or a hardware challenge, but it's a design challenge. And if you've made a successful game on the iPhone or on Facebook, that means you've got good designers and you know how to design for that specific space. And so that's what would prove to me if you've done something successful there.
Yeah, Mike.
Derek, you work with community regular, I've got come down here with you, and I know both of you are looking at nurturing guys a lot to where they can get to the stage where, as a startup or a smaller company, what do I have to do to get on your radar so that you will nurture me and be able to get to the stage where you can?
Release an ambulance.
Yeah, we'll come knocking on your door then. Say hi, stay in contact. It's interesting. Well, each publisher is different, and developers need to do their homework on the publishers as well. So I was at Vivendi prior to Activision, and Vivendi was very focused on external development as opposed to internal development. We had a few internal teams, but I would say 70 to 80% of our products were external. So that's a publisher you probably want to talk to, because most of our opportunities are going to be external opportunities. At Activision, we have 17, 18 internal studios, so we have limited external opportunities, especially when it comes on 360 and PS3, but when it comes to the Nintendo platforms, we pretty much outsource that to all external partners. So really do your homework, engage with publishers that are kind of working in the same genres or on the same platforms that your company is, and really just be as transparent as possible. This is where we're at, this is what we're trying to do. There may not be an opportunity that lines up for a couple of years, but you're going to have to, GDCs or events like this, you need to continually show progress that your company, I meet you 1 year and you say you're going to do X, Y, and Z, and then the next year you show me X, Y, and Z, and you're showing progress. That's fantastic. But if I see you and you kind of went off in another direction, it kind of slows things down from our perspective. So it's really building and forming a relationship with publishers and following up on that. And I think we're all pretty good in our jobs in following up with developers and making sure that we keep track of what you're doing. And we'll let you know what we want and where we think you should go, whether it's technology, whether it's design, whether it's genres. So, just talk with us and we'll help you out.
The other thing I'd like to add to that is, and it's kind of springboards from your know the developer and do your research, and know the publisher and do your research. So, definitely come to the meeting with a specific objective. If you've got a game that you want to pitch, You know, make sure you've done all your homework on that game. I was at THQ